The government has been embarrassed after losing 3 consecutive votes on a Labour motion in the lower house. It's believed to be the first time in 5 decades that a majority government has lost a vote in the House of Representatives. Labour exploited a weakness in the government's numbers when many MPs were leaving Canberra for home. The opposition tried to bring on debate in a bid to call on Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull to establish a royal commission into banks. Labour then won 3 divisions in its attempt to expedite debate, taking advantage of the coalition's slender majority. Here's the list of government MPs who were present in the chamber. Looks like Keenan and Porter also absent, plus Dutton, Pick, Twitter.com, MLSQWVBN2. Speaker Tony Smith was also forced to use his casting vote, believed to be for the first time, on a procedural motion to allow the debate to be considered. Treasurer Scott Morrison denounced the move and accused Labour leader Bill Shorten of taking political advantage. He is using a stunt to promote his stunt, he told Parliament. Mr. Shorten said the Royal Commission was the last resort for justice for those who'd been let down by the banking system. We may succeed tonight or not. We will never give up. Shadow Treasurer Chris Bowen urged the Prime Minister to give up the fight against a Royal Commission. Sometimes you just have to know when you've lost. Sometimes you just have to know when it's time to recognize reality. When it's time to say, okay, I might have got this one wrong. Quote, other Labour MPs were celebrating the victory on social media. How is that stable majority government working out for you, Mr. Turnbull? Frontbencher Mark Dreyfus tweeted, this government is the first in 40 years to have PM and Treasurer rolled by Cabinet and first majority government in 50 years to lose a vote in the House. #OSPO. Government winning 73-72 to adjourn. Labour having so much fun they're calling a division on every vote anyway. Another few minutes to go. Earlier, Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull fended off Labour's push for a banking royal commission by taking aim at opposition leader Bill Shorten for a hopelessly populist political campaign, doubling down on yesterday's parliamentary question time performance where he labelled Mr. Shorten a latter-day Jack Lang. Mr. Turnbull today branded the opposition leader the image of liberty in that great Delacroix painting. You see, Mr. Speaker, I said yesterday that the leader of the opposition is like a latter-day Jack Lang taking on the banks, a heroic advocate for the people, taking on the big end of town. Quote, Mr. Turnbull told the Parliament, I think he's getting so carried away with himself he sees himself rather like the person, the image of liberty in that great Delacroix painting. The tricolour in one hand, the muscat in the other. There he is, trampling over the barricades, freeing the people from their wrongs, taking on the banks. Mr. Speaker, this is a hopelessly populist political campaign. Mr. Shorten said he had today met with several people who had been treated unfairly by banks. Macquarie MP Susan Templeton used the experience of a couple called Dwayne and Jenny to ask Treasurer Scott Morrison why he would not back a royal commission into the banks. But the question appeared to backfire when Mr. Morrison pointed out the couple's plight began when Labour was in government. I noticed in the member's question that she referred to Dwayne and Jenny having been dealing with this for 7 years. He said, this government has been in power for 3 years. 3 years, not 7 years. News.com. Our privacy policy includes important information about our collection, use and disclosure of your personal information, including to provide you with targeted content and advertising based on your online activities. It explains that if you do not provide us with information we have requested from you, we may not be able to provide you with the goods and services you require. It also explains how you can access or seek correction of your personal information, how you can complain about a breach of the Australian privacy principles, and how we will deal with a complaint of that nature.